The details behind Katherine's shock absence from Royal Ascot. Did we see a new member of the royal family this week? And what will we see from our beautiful ringside seat at Royal Ascot? We've got a show with a difference for you this week. Hello and welcome to Palace Confidential. As I said, a show with a difference this week. We are coming to you direct from Ladies' Day at Royal Ascot, one of the biggest events in the summer social calendar for Britain. And joining me today, I'm Jo Elvin, of course. Joining me today with all the royal comings and goings and all the fashion fabulousness is the Daily Mail's royal editor Rebecca English and Claire Cisotti, who is the editor of the Mail Online Royals channel. Welcome to you both.
Brilliant, amazing to be here. I mean, look at this view, Jo.
I'm looking. And it's only going to get more colourful, more crowded and more eventful. What do we think?
And possibly more noisy as well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So do remember, if you're not already, do subscribe to the Daily Mail Royals channel where you'll get to see this and all the other amazing videos and royal content that we produce. Now that housekeeping's out of the way, let's get to my panel. Royal Ascot. Rebecca, a little while, not so long from now, we're going to be seeing a lot of royals riding right behind us, right where we're standing, aren't we?
Literally, where we're coming behind us, where the procession takes place, yeah.
That's incredible.
Around the parade ring.
Now, it's definitely for me, Claire, and I know it is for you, one of the biggest treats of Royal Ascot is all the fantastic fashion. So what are you expecting to see from the royal family?
I think it's going to be a really good turnout today. I think we've got some great royals coming. Beatrice never, ever disappoints me at the moment.
She's your favourite, isn't she?
She's so my favourite.
Yeah.
I love her. I love her style. When she comes out, she always just looks fabulous. She gets her hat right. She gets her dress right. Zara could come out fighting today, I reckon.
It's it's a Royal Ascot jewel out there on the parade.
The last 2 days have been, she's looked nice, but last year she looked incredible. And I'm thinking there might be an incredible one today.
That is actually, I don't like that as a compliment. You look nice. I hope she gets a little bit more of an estimation from you.
I think I think she's in the carriage. I think she saved the best till last type thing. I mean, I know it finishes on Saturday, but I think it will be a fantastic outfit today.
Well, we know we're going to get a lot more into the fashion as the afternoon progresses, but Royal Ascot was, of course, also a really important occasion for our late Queen Elizabeth II. Now, you probably don't need evidence of that, but if you do want to have a look at her watching her horse Estimate win his Gold Cup in 2013.
Her Majesty the Queen only presents 2 trophies during Royal Ascot, and look at the delight there, the sheer joy. Magnificent scenes, the crowd seeing that as well on the big screen and responding with laughter and with applause.
There she is with her racing manager, John Warren. I mean, she looks
back
thrilled,
memories.
didn't she? Yeah.
That really brings back memories.
Her presence still looms large over this whole event, doesn't it? She's still so missed.
Absolutely. I mean, she was the epitome of Royal Ascot and the epitome of racing. I mean, you know, it wasn't just an interest or a hobby for her. It was an absolute passion. She knew everything from the bloodlines of the horses to their form as they kind of go down the track. It was in her DNA.
Imagine that the Queen probably wanted to talk about little else. If you didn't know much about horses, it might have been a bit tough at dinner parties. What do you think?
Well, Prince Philip, didn't he, famously said about Princess Anne that if it didn't eat hay or fart, she wasn't interested in it. And I think that we know pretty sure where we know she got that from.
Well, it was a very important occasion for Queen Elizabeth, but it is one that we have seen Charles and Camilla really embrace as well.
Hugely, and I think there was actually quite a worry in the racing industry that when Queen Elizabeth passed away, would the royal family embrace this sport of kings in the same way? But I think absolutely is the answer, and I think a lot of that is down to Queen Camilla. The Prince of Wales then, King Charles now, has always loved the racing, but he would come for a couple of days and then go off and work. She is here. She's like, we are going to be here, darling, every single day.
But you know why that is, don't you? Because she's got the best hat game in the royal family business. And so I think, you don't want to miss an opportunity.
But she loves
to bust out a different hat every day.
True, but she loves the horses as well. I mean, she's been getting, beefing up the Royal Stud with her own horses. She's getting really into the bloodlines, and always they desperately hope for a winner.
Well, I mean, we say it's not a competition, but nobody ever beats Camilla with the hat for me. Never, ever, ever. Anyway, moving on. Now, Will Aikenhead is the head of corporate affairs here at Royal Ascot. Now, he sat down with us a little earlier on to tell us much more about the connection between this incredible festival and the royal family.
We've had great weather all week, the first 2 days. We're here on the third day, Gold Cup Day, Royal Ascot. 65,000 people expected to enjoy the sunshine and some brilliant racing and everything that goes with it. It goes all the way back to 1711 when Queen Anne rode out from Windsor Castle and found this stretch of land that she thought would be perfect for horses to gallop on, and how right she was. Now here we are with putting on top-class, world-class racing. Both Their Majesties the King and the Queen shown a huge interest since they've taken over, and it's been brilliant. They've had runners, obviously the really poignant moment in 2023 when Desert Hero won for them on this very day 2 years ago. So they've really embraced it. They've had runners all over the country. They've been to other racecourses as well. They're following it. They go to Newmarket and see their horses in training, and the breeding side of things as well. So yeah, they've really embraced it, picked it up, and it's been great. You know, we're expecting nearly 300,000 people through the gates this year, which is up on last year, and a huge part of that is people want to come and see the royal family. It's a chance to get up close that they wouldn't have elsewhere, and it's a huge part of the day, hugely important to our guests, and long may that continue.
Will Aikenhead there, as we mentioned, always a great occasion for fashion and the royal family. Now Claire, let's talk about Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, who never seems to put a fashion foot wrong these days. What did you think about her outfit yesterday?
I thought her outfit was fabulous yesterday. It was Susanna London. She's worn her both days. I think she has done a bit of the Princess of Wales where she's found her designer, and Susanna London is that designer. In fact, the outfit yesterday was the Clara two-piece bespoke, absolutely stunning. Emmy shoes, the hat was fabulous. She's not putting a foot wrong really, no, and I think it's Susanna London who is kind of basically the reason why.
And Susanna London is really a massive go-to for a lot of race goers. I see her name popping up all the time here. But we talked about Camilla earlier, Rebecca. Queen Camilla, she really is continuing this strong fashion run, isn't she? What can you tell us about what she's been wearing?
Well, I thought she looked particularly fantastic on day one, on Tuesday, the opening day of Ascot, in Dior.
See, and I think Dior is her designer.
Yeah, that's well. She's got a few pieces now, but that's quite a raising of her game onto an international level. And she looked incredible in that Philip Tracy hat. The second day she was wearing a real favourite of hers, Anna Valentine, and again with a Philip Tracy hat. And you're absolutely right. I think there's very few members of the royal family that wear a hat as well as Queen Camilla. And for her, the bigger the better.
Indeed, and I'm here for it. Now, there's also been a fashion double act, a mother-daughter double act, hasn't there, with Beatrice and Sarah Ferguson?
So they arrived and on day one, and Sarah Ferguson wore a beautiful navy suit, looked stunning actually, and Beatrice, my favourite, Princess Beatrice, wearing Beulah, London, it was divine. That whole suit, it actually looked better than the model wearing it on the website.
Wow.
It just fitted her beautifully. The colour, pink and white gingham, you wouldn't think with a redhead would look so fabulous.
Oh no, I think that's a complete myth that redheads can't wear pink.
Well, she proved
go
it.
for it, redheads.
She definitely proved them all wrong
because
she looked fabulous. I love the whole outfit. I'm very excited about her outfit today. Olivia Buckingham should be working her magic, that's for sure.
Oh, that's exciting.
And I think what was nice about the Duchess of York's outfit is that I think that navy blue was actually a beautiful foil to her daughter, and I did wonder if that was a kind of mother gesture to her daughter to let her daughter shine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only me theorising, but I suspect it would be. They're very close.
She does definitely adore her daughters, doesn't she? That's very palpably obvious. Speaking of daughters, can we please have a moment for Zara Tindall, who I think also always knocks it out of the park? What do you think?
Absolutely, and she will be in the carriage procession. I've just had the list come through.
Oh, okay.
And her and her husband Mike will be in the carriage procession, which is why I think Claire is right. We'll see her dress game go up a notch, because the last few days she's been here as a private individual, admittedly in this parade ring behind us, seen giving her uncle King Charles a kiss, but she's officially there. And I think, again, I personally don't know who her stylist is, but whoever it is, they do a fantastic job.
I don't envy the men in their morning suits today. We're standing out here, it's 31 degrees in Britain today, which is just incredible. So I think the bigger, the wider the hats, the better for the royal family.
Yes, exactly.
But now, sticking with the family for just a moment, there may well even be a new member popping along soon. That seems to be the speculation mounting, doesn't it?
Oh, I'm dying to talk about Harriet Sperling's outfit. I'm grabbing the mic off Rebecca. We saw a glimpse of her from the carriage. We saw this beautiful A1 Golding kind of straw boater. We didn't really see the outfit, and then she stood and we saw the outfit full length. It was Susanna London again.
Again, yes.
It was beautiful. It was cream. It was elegant. She was wearing Emmy shoes, Emmy clutch. I mean, she was dressed head to toe like a royal. I mean, it's like she's been to royal school and say, this is what you're going to wear. You're going to wear Emmy shoes. You're going to wear an Emmy clutch and beautiful Susanna London outfit. And it was called the Harrogate. I don't know if it was because it was a play on words for her name, Harriet, but that was the suit that she wore,
Excellent.
two-piece. It was beautiful.
I like your thinking there. Now, what can you tell us? What should we read into Harriet being part of a royal procession?
Quite a lot, actually, I would say.
And
normally I'm one to play these things down, but actually, no, not in this case. I should explain, I don't think we have, that Harriet Sperling is Peter Phillips's girlfriend of the last year. He is the son of the Princess Anne, the Princess Royal. His first marriage ended in divorce, and he had a very serious long-term girlfriend before that. And then Harriet popped up, much to our surprise, about a year ago. And they've been quite quiet and got on with it. And then suddenly, in fact, we were filming together, Joe, on Tuesday.
Oh, right.
A special will come out hopefully on our Daily Mail Royals channel in a few weeks' time. And I think I remember saying to you, hold on a minute, I've just got the carriage list through for Ascot, and I could see her there.
That's
and I was
right.
This, guys, is a story. You're going to have to break off for a minute because I need to get in touch with the office. So I do think it's a sign of the seriousness of the relationship. I mean, people often use royal seal of approval. I think they use that a bit sparingly. You know, the fact is, if he said to her, look, thank you very much, Uncle, for allowing me in the carriage procession, and I would love to bring my partner, they wouldn't really say no.
Of course, but it's also a daunting invitation to accept, because
Absolutely.
you know, the minute you're in that royal procession, people like us are going to be going, what's going on?
All eyes will be on you.
Yeah.
And actually, that's where I think Claire is right, that she carried it off with aplomb. You know, it was as if she was to the manor born, and I think she's definitely one to watch for us.
Do we think Princess Anne approves?
I do. I would say she wouldn't be here if she did. So.
I think the way she carries herself and seeing them talking in the royal box, they were very friendly. Princess Anne, I mean, she doesn't smile all the time, but she was definitely smiling at the beautiful Harriet in that beautiful outfit.
I love that measured statement from you there, Claire.
And I think as well, it's worth
smile all the time.
It's worth pointing out, I think she's a bit of a breath of fresh air to the royal family. She actually is a nurse working in our NHS system, so I think that's very much to be welcomed.
That must be such a strange juxtaposition to go from working on the wards to then suddenly you're in the royal procession in a carriage.
And again, I think it just only emphasised how well she's made that transition. Well done on her.
All eyes will be on you today, Harriet. Best of luck with that. Now, we did ask you earlier in the week to give us some of your Royal Ascot themed comments, and boy, you didn't let us down. Thank you so much for those. We've got a couple of questions here for you. Gabes asks, which royals have a horse running at Ascot this year? Very good question. Rebecca, what can you tell us?
Well, the King and Queen do have a number of runners. They haven't been very successful so far this week. They were their favourite. Their horses, the two races they were running in, they were the favourites. I think people like to back the Monarch's horse. And I think they came in maybe 7th and 9th. So, not terrible, because it's a big field here at Royal Ascot. But I think they were really hoping for a win. They've got a few more runners later on this week. But, that, as I say, is the joy of horse racing, because you can be a king or a queen and you've still got no say in whether your horse wins or not.
Well, you're the one, you won some money yesterday, didn't you?
I was actually here at Ascot as a guest yesterday.
So I think we need some tips from Rebecca before
£15.30 I'll have
go. It won't
I'll buy you a
change
drink later.
It won't change her. Tell me. Now, Rob asks, can you do a blurb about the carriages for Ascot and where they come from? I know we saw them for Trooping the Colour, but they are just so fascinating to see. It's very true, isn't it? What can you tell us about those, Rebecca?
Well, they're beautiful. They are the Royal Landau, and they have been used at Ascot and also for state events for generations. And they're just so beautiful and so elegant, and when you see them close up, they have the incredible livery and the incredible paintwork on them, bearing the crests and motifs of the monarchy. And I think it just gives that procession down from Windsor Castle to Royal Ascot is just such part and parcel of what makes this race event so special
and so glamorous.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I should maybe explain that the royal family tend to have lunch at Windsor Castle with their guests, and then they start off at 10 to 2ish, 5 to 2.
I can't imagine that's the most comfortable ride. clip-clopping along on
It's
British
not,
roads
and
in a carriage.
Actually, more worryingly than it being uncomfortable is the wind, and the ladies often suffer with their hats. You'll often see them literally hanging onto their hats.
Oh my goodness!
Even though they're well secured.
I'd love a breeze today.
But they try. What they do is they ride down from Windsor Castle to Ascot, and the crowds lining thing. Everyone cheers as they go past, and then they literally come into this amazing parade ring, and they take that little circuit
I really can't
round.
wait for that. Yeah,
we are literally within touching
distance.
That's
so exciting. Now we also have some very special content about royal carriages coming up on the Daily Mail Royals channel very soon. I promise it won't be too far away. So do keep your eye out for that. And as I said earlier, subscribe to the channel and then you won't miss the reminder when it's finally out. There you go.
There you go, and they'll see how close you got to one of these royal landos,
Indeed.
Joe.
No, you're supposed to. It's a surprise. It's a secret.
I can't keep secrets.
Now, we got this in from Gwyn Sobral. I hope I'm saying that right. One of my favourite pictures from Ascot was Diana and Fergie using their umbrellas to catch the attention of a friend walking in front of them. Not sure Buckingham Palace approved, but it was a good giggle. Does anyone at Palace Confidential remember this or know any backstory from that day? Well, our producers actually asked Daily Mail's veteran royal writer and friend of Palace Confidential, Richard Kay, who was covering the royals all the way back then. Oh, he must be a vampire. He must be. He said that it was Ladies' Day in 1987 and that the people that Fergie and Diana were trying to catch the attention of were friend of Fergie's, Lulu and Hugh Lindsay, the Queen's equerry. Now, he was actually tragically killed in the Closters avalanche the following March. But it's funny because, while the playing with the umbrellas might seem sort of innocent and low-key to us now, it was quite the scandal back then, with Charles reported to have told Diana off for this very unroyal behaviour. Claire, it was a big story at the time, wasn't it?
It was a huge story at the time. I think I was at the Daily Mirror, obviously a long time ago in 87, and I remember it being on every single front page. I remember this, it kind of caused a bit of a scandal actually. I think those front pages went on for a couple of days, if you get my drift. But you've got to remember that Diana married when she was 20. This happened when she was 27. She was so young.
She was, but that's still 7 years of royal protocol, isn't it?
It's 7 years of royal protocol.
Yeah, I know, well, really.
But there was probably a bit of rebellion, maybe, with her new kind of friend to play with, Sarah Ferguson, who was then the Duchess of York.
Yes.
And she was probably overexcited about the fact that she actually had someone to talk to.
It just particularly with our mates, don't
that's
we?
I think it just doesn't seem like a big deal to us, does it?
Yeah.
But in royal life, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it probably wasn't ideal, but then, you could argue that it also attracted probably a new legion of fans to the royal family, that they had these two young, glamorous, attractive, high-spirited young women who were in this kind of slightly more older staid institution. So I think in the long run, it wouldn't have done them any harm whatsoever.
Well, I have to say thank you, Gwyn, for that question, because I certainly learned a lot. I didn't actually know, growing up in Australia, that one had passed me by, but I love that story. Now, feel free to put more questions and comments below in this video, and particularly because this is a slightly different kind of show for us, we'd love to know your feedback and what you think we might do more. Let's get back to my panel now, and the story that has obviously been dominating the headlines for the front pages in the UK today is Katherine, Princess of Wales's last-minute absence from Royal Ascot yesterday. Rebecca, you were here yesterday. Can you tell us about the story and how it unfolded?
Yeah, it's a story I definitely didn't expect to be writing for the Daily Mail yesterday. So we were pretty certain the Princess of Wales was coming. In fact, we were told that she was coming. The Prince of Wales was actually presenting the trophy to the winner of the Prince of Wales Stakes, so it was a very natural day for them to be here together. The carriage list came out as normal at 12 o'clock, and lo and behold, they were in the second carriage. Then suddenly at 22 minutes past 12, I can remember it very distinctly, we suddenly got a message from Kensington Palace to basically say she's now not coming, and that it was a bit of an error, and that it shouldn't have been announced that she was. But obviously, understandably, because people are very fond of her and they've been very concerned about her over the last year, it did spark a lot of concern that it seemed to be such a last-minute pulling out.
Yeah.
The palace explained that we've always said that although she would be returning to royal duties this year, following the great news that she's now in remission from cancer, that, you know, it would be a slow and a measured approach, and that some weeks we'd see her quite a bit and some weeks that we wouldn't.
Yeah.
And that it was already part of the rhythm of that. But obviously it didn't stop people speculating and worrying.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, obviously the palace, Claire, was very keen to downplay things, but any time that something like that happens, and particularly in that sudden way, people worry.
Yeah, I mean, for the first, terrifying few seconds when I saw the story break, I was like, you know, oh God, we're not there again, are we? But
Yeah.
I saw William and I saw her mother, Carol, and they both looked very relaxed and they both looked very happy. Carol came with James Middleton's wife, Elitze, and they were all having such a great day. And I'm thinking, well, if there's anything really badly wrong, I don't think Carol would have been here.
Right.
William might have had to, you know, put his shoulders back and get on with it. I don't know. But them looking so relaxed made me relax, if that makes sense.
That's an interesting point, yeah. Now, Rebecca, though, the occasion it does recall it recently is when there was a row over Katherine, whether or not she would appear at the Irish Guards.
Well, yes, and I think that's why people were so jittery,
Yes.
because cast our mind back a year ago when we know she'd gone into hospital and would be taking several months off to recover, but the family hadn't yet felt they were in a position to explain why that was taking longer than everyone expected, and that's perfectly understandable. She needed to get her own health and her own ducks in a row, and as she herself said, she needed to tell her children.
Yeah.
But of course the general public, you remember that awful period of speculation, some of which was pretty disgusting, especially the kind of social media trolling of her. And we had quite a nervous period where William suddenly pulled out of attending his godfather, King Constantine of Greece's memorial service.
That's right.
With very little explanation at the last minute. And then shortly after that, we had a situation where the Ministry of Defence announced, because the Irish Guards were trooping the colour that year, that Katherine would take the salute on a pre-trooping event. And again, Kensington Palace reacted quite quickly and said, no, that's very premature, you shouldn't have said that, it won't be confirmed till nearer the time. And again, we were all, well, there's no reason for them not to announce it because it is her regiment.
Yes.
So again, it made people quite nervous. And I think lessons have probably been learned from those experiences. But I think, again, that's why people got a little bit jittery yesterday.
It's interesting, isn't it, Claire, because obviously the Walesers were out in force, lots of friends and family here. And if we're honest, it's not a terribly regular event for the Princess of Wales anyway.
Yeah, I mean, she takes part, you know, you'll see her probably once in the Royal Week at Ascot. She's not like Queen Camilla, who loves the horses and would be here for 2 weeks if it went on for 2 weeks. But she always kind of, before her illness, we used to see her possibly once a week, never more than once, I don't think. Do you?
I think some years she's been twice. But
yeah, it's never the same day. She can come on, she comes on a Friday or she'll come on a Tuesday. So, but not seeing her yesterday was really disappointing. But, we have to, we had lots of other lovely surprises.
I mean, the thing is, she's been looking amazing, and I think people are disappointed mostly because she has had an otherwise very public week, hasn't she? And people always get excited to see what she's up to.
Yeah, and I think you have to take the idea of their speculation disappointment in the most positive sense, because people love her. They love seeing her at events like this, and she, again, I love the outfit she wears to Royal Ascot. She always really cuts a very Audrey Hepburn, My Fair Lady look, I think.
So what else has she been up to this week?
So I said that I think it's disappointment, but people have seen her kind of 3 times in recent days.
Yeah.
We saw her undertake an engagement with the Victoria and Albert Museum, of which she's patron. Last week we've had her at Trooping the Colour on Saturday, and then at the Order of the Garter ceremony where I was on Monday at Windsor Castle. So I think people were just like, oh wow, we're going to see her again, and obviously they're just a bit disappointed when they don't. But I just wanted to stress that I've spoken to Kensington Palace today, and they've really effectively said, please do not panic. Like, it is genuinely just one of those things.
Okay.
And everyone should relax.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? She was looking absolutely exquisite at Trooping the Colour, and Princess Charlotte stole your look, by the way. I just kind of feel like I want to see a side by side of
I'm doing a
those
royal
outfits.
rewear again
Absolutely.
today, have you noticed?
Looking gorgeous. But she did seem to be suffering from hay fever at Trooping the Colour, and, you know, it's a rather floral place, this one as well, isn't it?
Well, I can tell you, and Joe will know from bitter experience here, I have to say, when we filmed our Daily Mail Royals Live VE Day commemorations from there, the pollen that comes down from these plane trees, it looks like it's snowing in the background.
I thought
it's
people
so
were
bad.
Exaggerating when they warned us about it, but yeah.
I mean, we were picking it out of our hair and our clothes for like days afterwards, and a few of them, I know Queen Camilla suffers from hay fever quite badly as well, so who knows? I mean, we're wrong to speculate, but you know what I have been told is just be assured everything's fine.
Yeah. Okay, well, we mentioned Peter Phillips's girlfriend Harriet Sperling earlier. She was wearing a hat by A1 Golding, who is a brilliant milliner and fast becoming an absolute favourite of royals, celebrities and other VIPs. We caught up with her a little bit earlier to talk about what it's like to actually dress royalty.
Royal Ascot is the Oscars of the hat world. It really is the place to come and be seen in your most beautiful hats, to show off the best kind of craft in millinery, and it's kind of the peak of my whole season. Having a royal wear one of my hats is such a huge honour, because obviously they can have the pick of anyone really. So yes, there's been a few. I don't know if we'll see any at Ascot this year, but in the past it's just the best feeling ever. The process of working with the royal, it's obviously bespoke, it's custom. So there is a back and forth process, but I can't say too much about that actually. Harriet Sperling looked amazing. So that actually came through Susanna of London, who did her fabulous dress, and we work in collaboration quite a lot. So the hat is something from one of my collections. It's called Golden Boater, and it just suited everything down to a T. Looked amazing. What the fashion this year? I don't know. It seems to be everything goes at the moment. I have really kind of, my most popular styles really have been the blocked headbands all the way to like the super wide brim hats. So I can't really say that there's like one specific look people are going for, but I think colour is always the key. I mean, obviously the late Queen was such an incredible hat wearer. She was a lover of millinery. She wore every single colour under the sun, you know, right up into her, you know, her later years, and she looked fabulous. I think that embracing hats and colour is 100% the way forward. She knew how to wear them.
Well, it is the moment that you and I and everybody watching Palace Confidential and everybody in this arena has been waiting for. The parade is finally coming into the Royal Circle, and Claire, here they come. Here comes His Majesty the King and Queen Camilla in the first carriage there. They're joined by the Marquis of Salisbury and the Marchioness of Salisbury as well.
Camilla looks like she's in an ice blue coat.
It's looking sort of avocado-y to me from here. Maybe I'm just got heat stroke.
Could be, but she's got one of her fabulous big hats on, so that's probably Philip Treacy.
By the way, if you are missing our Rebecca English, she had to go off and do her actual royal job, but we're hoping she might be back. But
yes, we're just playing at it.
We are missing you, Rebecca.
Second carriage is Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh.
Yep. And the Princess Royal, Princess Anne, and Sir Tim Lawrence.
Then we've got Beatrice. So we know that Princess Beatrice is wearing Monique Julia with a Sarah Bradley Hall hat. And now Zara looks like she's come straight out of her comfort zone and gone monochrome.
Yes, you don't see that very often, do you? And it's super striking today on on a very, very colourful day,
I think, as I said earlier, she's bought her fighting game.
You were right.
I was right. I knew it.
You're right. She's been looking nice, but today she's stepped it up.
She's looking a little Princess of Wales-like.
I should never have doubted you, Claire Cisotti.
I know.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Are we supposed to bow as the King comes past?
I don't know. Am I meant to curtsy?
Yeah, I don't know. Someone quickly tell me the etiquette.
There's Camilla. Oh my God, she looks stunning.
Here they come.
She looks stunning. We're waving. Oh my God, it's ice blue.
You were right.
I was
Beautiful
right.
ice blue.
Ice
Wonderful.
Blue. And then we've got Sophie, who looks fabulous. Also, I think...
I love Princess Anne's royal blue.
Oh, it's a beautiful
Isn't that
dress.
gorgeous? The beautiful turquoise. Yeah. I think she's Princess Anne looking a bit like, why are all these people looking at us?
Princess Beatrice, my favourite, looking stunning,
looking gorgeous.
In Monique Julia,
yeah.
with her husband Eduardo, looking fabulous. And Zara.
Here we go.
I want to high five Zara Tyndall.
Yes. See if you can give her the royal
salute. She's got drop pearls. It's very Katherine. Very Katherine. I love that hat.
Well, as we've talked about in the show, obviously Royal Ascot is such an important moment in the calendar for the royal family. So we thought we'd gather some of our favourite images, some of them really quite iconic from over the years. It's our famous montage looking at Royal Ascot. Some really beautiful ones there. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we do. And I hope you enjoyed this show. A bit of a different one for us. We've enjoyed making it for you. So please do let us know what you think in the comments. Just time now to thank my beautiful panel, Rebecca English and Claire Cisotti. And of course you for watching. And we will see you next time on Palace Confidential.
I'd also like to say Richard Egan next year should, and I'm talking to you, Richard, dust off your top hat and get down here, okay, if we do this again.
I dusted mine off. And before you say it, my husband's already called me Willy Wonka.